Nicaragua has been called by many of its visitors one of the most welcoming countries in Central America. It has been described by the Washington Post as Central America's hidden new traveling destination. Hi, I'm Tammy.
I'm Rodrigo.
And I'm Andrew.
Welcome to Nicaragua, Central America's hidden treasure.
Nicaragua's combination of nature, history, culture, and geography make it a treasure just waiting to be discovered.
The warmth and friendliness of its people, along with its unique and safe environment, make it hard for a visitor not to enjoy Nicaragua.
We invite you to come along with us during the next hour to experience the beauty of Nicaragua and her people, its wonderful landscapes and natural attractions.
We invite you to be a part of our
Adventures in Nicaragua.
This is the new and modern Port of Managua by Lake Solotlan. This will be the starting point for our adventures in Nicaragua.
The newly built port of Managua is a place of recreation and rest for the families of the city. It has a marina, a ramp for yachts, a little photo exposition of the history of the lake, and soon, booths for sale of handicrafts and Nicaraguan food. It is very nice to see this place, which had been neglected before, being renewed for the benefit of the people of Managua. And talking about new places, we will come back to the lake in a while, but before our ship comes in, we have to go to another body of water nearby. This is the Tizcapa Lagoon. Its name in the Nahuatl language means in the water of the sacrificial stone. This lagoon, formed more than 1,000 years ago inside the crater of an extinct volcano, represents a unique natural treasure for the city of Managua. The Managua Mayor's Office manages this protected area in an effort to turn it into a major recreation center for national and international tourism. The Tizcapa Lagoon and its crater constitute a unique ecosystem with its own flora and fauna, found in the very heart of the city. Since we already had flown on the lagoon and its canopy tour, we decided it would be better this time to try its waters. The Tizcapa Lagoon is, apart from being a historical and natural landmark in the city, a place of natural beauty and an oasis where the citizens of Managua can escape the everyday hustle of this growing city.
One of the most important hotels here in Managua is the Holiday Inn Select. They've invited us to enjoy their awesome Sunday afternoon buffet
And swim in their amazing pool, so let's go! Holiday Inn Select Managua is part of the Intercontinental Hotel Group. Only 20 minutes away from Managua International Airport, its 155 deluxe rooms and 5 suites offer its guests and their families the best service. At Holiday Inn Managua, every room is perfectly equipped for the traveling executive. Anfora Restaurant is located in front of the gardens and the hotel's pool. It offers an international menu a la carte, as well as a yummy buffet. Holiday Inn Select Managua offers you all the comforts to make your stay in Nicaragua unforgettable. Lake Managua, or Lake Solotlan, is the second largest body of water in our land of lakes and volcanoes. Today we will be navigating its serene waters on a yacht, starting a new tourist route that will take us to the majestic Momotombo volcano and its surroundings.
Dominating the view to the north of the capital city and a very important reference point, Lake Managua is the second largest lake in the country at more or less 1,000 square kilometers. During its golden years, it was the main source of drinking water and a very attractive site where the Managuas would go for recreation. Since the 1920s, the lake has constantly suffered pollution, resulting in almost total destruction. A water rehabilitation plan is currently underway, seeking to restore the lake to its former splendor. In the Chorotea Indian language, Momotombo means active and close to waters. Momotombo is a young 1,297-meter-high symmetrical mountain and Nicaragua's most familiar landmark. Momotombo has a long record of strombolian eruptions. The most recent one happened in the year 1905. However, volcanic activity at Momotombo has been measured as recently as the year 2000.
This youngster, with 4,500 years of age, is the one responsible for the eruption that destroyed León in 1605, when the city was the capital of Nicaragua. At the foot of the sleeping Momotombo volcano lie the ruins of Old León, or León Viejo. Modern León was built after the city was destroyed by an earthquake and then the eruption of Momotombo in 1609. Old León was declared Common Heritage of Mankind by UNESCO in the year 2000.
Recent excavations have unearthed several ruins, including the cathedral, the convent, and the governor's mansion. Just walking amidst these ruins made us feel as if we were back in the 17th century, living the history of the citizens of Old León.
Here we are in the main street. It was the Royal Street. León City was the first city founded in Nicaragua in 1524 by the conqueror Francisco Fernández de Córdoba. We call to León City the Pompeia from Latin America or from America because we believe that León City was destroyed by the Momotombo volcano. But with the investigation that the scientists they have been doing, they discovered that the city wasn't destroyed by the volcano. The city was abandoned for many reasons. The most common there was corruption in the state. Other one was the economical situation. They killed all the natives and they was needing a slave for work, but because there wasn't no more slave around the city, they had to look for other place. In the principal door of this cathedral, they killed the bishop. After that, a big hurricane caused a lot of damage to the city. And then the Momotombo volcano started with a small eruption. So the people, they thought there was an evil city and they chose to move León City. But in 1610, we founded the new León City in the city that it is now.
In Nicaraguan Spanish, the phrase "Va pues" means "okay, let's go." That is exactly what our guides to the city of León do. They take you places. Va pues Tours is a fully operational tour operator that offers day and multi-day tours to the most important destinations in Nicaragua. But their specialty is, of course, their home turf, the intellectual capital of Nicaragua, the city of León. Va pues!
León is the second largest city in Nicaragua after the capital. It's located some 50 miles northwest of Managua and only 11 miles east of the Pacific Ocean. León has long been the intellectual center for the nation, as well as an important historical, cultural, and commercial center for Nicaragua.
The majestic colonial city of León served as the capital of Nicaragua until 1857. Today, the city is home to a large university, and it is renowned for its monumental architecture, colonial churches, and for the intellectual atmosphere that pervades the whole town. This city, founded by the Spaniards, is rich with culture and history. Its public buildings are among the finest in Central America. They include colonial churches, old homes, and the third largest cathedral in Latin America, the Cathedral of La Asunción. Built around 1774, it contains many treasures of colonial religious art and the tombs of some of Nicaragua's most famous citizens, including one of Latin America's most renowned poets, Rubén Darío, who lived in León during the first 14 years of his life. The poet is buried there at the foot of St. Paul's image and guarded by a sorrowful lion. This metropolitan cathedral is considered to be one of the largest in all of Central America. Its construction began in 1747, but it took 100 years to complete this enormous building. Legend has it that it was built with, among other things, egg whites, and that it was originally destined to be in Peru, but it ended up being in León by mistake. The cathedral has a huge dome roof, which provides the building with ventilation and natural light. An interesting characteristic of the basilica is that it contains elements of 3 different architectural styles: colonial, neoclassical, and Baroque. Tours of both its cellars and rooftop are offered to tourists daily.
About 100 years ago, when pirates would attack the city of León, the priests built a series of underground tunnels to connect all the churches so they could escape the attacks and safeguard the gold. It was also used as a cemetery for bishops, celebrated citizens of León, and famous poets.
In order to fund the construction of the massive building, people were offered the possibility to be buried in the cathedral. The cathedral has 7 cellars, which provide stability to the gigantic building in case of a volcanic eruption or quake. One of the cellars provided an entrance to the tunnel system that connects several churches in León. These tunnels also serve as places to safeguard the numerous treasures the cathedral has.
Fue director del Colegio San Ramón, el edificio que está acá al frente. Ese edificio es más antiguo que catedral. Esto representa más o menos el grosor de las paredes de catedral. Ahora sí pueden sentir el aire.
Sáquenme de aquí.
The guide kept on, explaining about all these very interesting facts to us, but all we could think about was that we were standing in an underground cemetery, which, added to the cool temperature of the underground crypts, gave us the chills.
That was creepy. Yeah. Totally.
The city has several other colonial churches as well. You can almost find one around every corner. One of the most impressive is the Baroque-style, yellow-colored La Recolección, which is more than 200 years old. Even older than 200 years, San Juan Bautista de Sutiaba Church is larger than La Recolección. It is located facing the main plaza of the Sutiaba Indian District. During Holy Week, the faithful make beautiful sawdust beds with drawings of religious motifs on the streets in front of the churches. The city's Spanish colonial architecture is found everywhere, from the old and new episcopal palaces, the hospital, the university, and the barracks, to the old colonial homes with their exquisite iron balconies. León is also the house of several museums. The one dedicated to the poet Rubén Darío is housed in his childhood home and has very interesting displays about his life and his work. The Museum of Legends and Traditions is particularly interesting, founded by a local lady who wanted to share her love for the legends of the city. It is housed in a building that used to be a prison. It is a collection of life-size dolls and puppets, illustrating several of the local legends and folktales.
One of the city's main attractions is its spirited street life. León is one of the few places in Nicaragua where every afternoon and weekend you could take a stroll to the park, have an ice cream cone or snow cone, and hear music from marimba players and street bands.
Cerro Negro is at 160 years old, a young volcano, the youngest in the Western Hemisphere. A cone of blackened rock that erupts violently every 7 or 8 years. The last time it erupted in 1999, it covered León in snow-like sand.
This seems perfect for any tourist who wants to hold onto a board and slide down the 40-degree slope at 60 kilometers per hour. The extreme sport of sandboarding is being offered at Cerro Negro, where we're going to climb up the volcano, and after a long ascent and a short orientation, we're going to ride down the volcano. Are you ready to rock?
Yeah. On our way to the base of the volcano, our car got stuck on a pile of volcanic ash, leaving us stranded there in the middle of the road until some friendly locals pulled us out with their ox cart. That was fun. Just the beginning of our day's adventure.
I'm Oscar, I'll be your guide today. Let's go up.
Even though it is only 400 meters high, the climb up Cerro Negro is hard enough without having to carry a 25-pound board on your back. We walked on a natural path of volcanic rock and ash for more than 2 hours under the sun. After that, another half hour around the rim of the crater to the steep place of descent. The views on both sides were superb. On one side, the open crater of the active volcano. And on the other, the majestic landscapes of the Nicaraguan volcanic chain. When we got to the outer rim of the crater, and after a few short trial runs, we were ready to jump down the 40-degree slope to the base of Cerro Negro.
Okay, here you have your equipment. This is your protection kit. First of all, we're going to practice with our boards. If you want to move fast, going down, you can up this the front part of the board, and if you want to stop, you can slide and move around the board to go slow. We're going to take our boards to that small mountain, and then we're going to slide, right? Take your boards.
Well, we're finally at the top. Let's see if it's actually worth it. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
Ready, get set, go! Great and intense experience, a wild ride.
Do you really want to feel the force of a volcano? Just 15 minutes from León, there's an area filled with small craters with boiling mud and water vapors. These thermal springs are known as the San Jacinto volcanic field.
San Jacinto is a little town about 20 kilometers northeast of León. Located in the southeast flank of Telica volcano, the San Jacinto mud springs are a nest of boiling little craters fueled by underground volcanic activity. The ground is unstable and you literally walk on top of boiling water. A mud pot, as these craters are called, is a sort of hot spring or fumarole consisting of a pool of usually bubbling mud. Mud pots form in high-temperature geothermal areas where water is scarce. The bubbles coming out of the mud are the result of both boiling and gases escaping up from deep in the earth.
It's really hot in here.
Oh, Roro, you couldn't have waited? Oh, that's gross.
It was the sulfur gases, not me.
You can often hear the gurgling and sputtering of gas coming out of the mud.
Here we are in the mud spring. The mud spring, they are more than 500 years old. When the Spanish they came here, they discovered in the past it was a big lagoon that was permanent boiling. They say that was too hot, so they can put a chicken inside and really easy in a few minutes they have ready to eat.
After an exhausting day sliding downhill on Cerro Negro, what better way to relax than staying overnight at a typical Spanish colonial house in León? Posada Doña Blanca Bed and Breakfast is a typical colonial house with a beautiful indoor patio and garden, wide corridors and tiled roofs, with 6 comfortable rooms with all the modern amenities. It's as if you never left home. On our way back from León, our friends at Vapues Tours took us to a rural community where we visited an iguana farm with more than 150 iguanas living in a protected environment.
Well, we're on our way to the iguana farm, and we found these awesome twin ceiba trees. We've never seen anything like it.
There are 650 species of iguanas in Nicaragua. They grow up to be 3 to 6 feet in length. Iguanas are herbivores. They bask in direct sunlight during the majority of the day and feed on the local fauna. Young iguanas are bright green to help camouflage them. Adults tend to be duller in color and live high up in the canopies of trees. Iguanas get to live 10 to 15 years in the wild, up to 20 years in captivity.
Wow, I can't believe I'm holding a real live iguana in my hands. Where have I heard that before?
Iguanas lay about 50 eggs at a time in holes in the ground. After the females lay the eggs, they leave them and do not return. When the babies hatch, they grow up without care from their parents. It takes green iguana eggs about 8 to 10 weeks to hatch, and about 2 years for the babies to become mature adults.
In Nicaragua, the animals are hunted to be eaten, but in other countries, iguanas are popular pets. I've always wanted one. The city of Chinandega is a place of spectacular volcanoes and natural attractions. A colonial city that has grown to be a very important trade and commerce center for Nicaragua. Its location near the border of Honduras and close to the international port of Corinto make it very important for agriculture, industry, and the production of beef, seafood, sugar, and rum.
Villas del Cortijo is a group of luxurious apartments at the entrance of the city of Chinandega. With all the amenities you can imagine, this will be the perfect center of operations for our adventures in Nicaragua during our trip to the modern and yet colonial city of Chinandega.
All apartments are well equipped with kitchen, living room, cable TV, and 2 bedrooms with marble baths and hot water. The hotel has its own gym, pool, and 24-hour security. This is an ideal place for those who are traveling for business or those who are looking for a calm place close to the city.
A very small village within Chinandega, El Viejo or Old Man, a nickname given by the locals to the Indian chief Tezuatega, has 2 very special activities that every tourist must do. First, visit the Basilica of the Virgin of the Throne.
The other one is to visit a local rosquilla factory, where we can see how these delicious corn and cheese crackers are made, and eat as many as we want.
El Viejo is the site of the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception of Mary. Built in the 17th century, the church was elevated to the status of a national religious sanctuary and declared a minor basilica in 2006 by Pope John Paul II during his second visit to Nicaragua. Tradition states that Spanish friar Pedro de Cepeda, brother of Saint Teresa of Avila, traveling with the image of the Virgin, was forced to remain in Nicaragua due to a storm. The people of El Viejo were so taken by the image that they wished for it to stay in their town. On December 6th of every year, the silver that is part of the little statue is washed before the faithful in a ceremony called the Lavado de la Plata. A favorite Nicaraguan treat is the rosquilla. The Nicaraguan rosquilla is a small plain cookie made out of cheese and cornmeal designed to be accompanied by a hot cup of coffee. You make it combining cornmeal with grated cheese, egg, butter, and melted pork lard. At the rosquilla factory, the cornmeal is transformed into thousands of little donuts. They are put into a brick oven where they are baked until brown and finally come out hot, crispy, and with their characteristic flavor. There are two variations, one with molasses or sweet sugar cane syrup in the middle and one that has a hole in the center.
Cortijo Rosario is a world-class equestrian school and horse breeding farm. It is also the home of the Cohen family. This is our friend Piero Cohen. He's going to be showing us around. Hey, man.
Hey, how are you doing? Well, welcome to Cortijo. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's a lot to do here. So come, let me show you.
Piero took us around to the different sections of the farm, showing us all of the animals, including a nursery where they raise baby quails and other animals. After that, it's on to the horse stables and grazing fields on a little golf cart.
Guys, there's so much to do here. I really think we should split up. Tammy.
No.
Tammy. Yeah, see you later.
She's gone. Let's go. Let's go.
Aside from the horse training facilities, the Cohens use the farm as both a country home and a place for receptions and special events. The kids, however, have a ball in this beautiful private playground.
Well, here we have some horses, and we're going right now to where we keep the most important horses. And here you can see the people that have a scholarship in the equestrian school working and being taught. Right here we have the chapel. My cousins have been Baptist here, and my uncles have gotten married here. Well, you can see the chapel from the inside. This is where I will be probably buried. My grandparents' parents are buried here. This is like a cemetery. Well, it is a cemetery. Well, let's go explore some more about the Cortijo. We also have small houses, doll houses for my sisters and for my cousins. And the most fun thing about all is the carousel. Let's go check it out.
All right, let's go.
This is Cristiana Ficcioni, Miss Nicaragua 2006. She's a spokesperson for the Cohen Foundation here in Chinandea. Tell me, Cristiana, a little bit about this foundation.
Well, Cohen Foundation has different programs and different projects, but one that we are most proud of is equine therapy. It is a program that helps kids with special needs based on the physical contact with horses. But come along, let me show you how we do it.
Hippotherapy is an unconventional form of physical therapy in which a horse is used as a treatment tool. In this therapy, the motion of a walking horse is used to stimulate the rider and help enhance balance, posture, mobility, coordination, and strength. In many cases, mental functioning, mood, and self-confidence may improve. By trying to maintain in balance on top of the horse, riders tone, stretch, and strengthen the same muscle groups they would use walking, sitting, and reaching on their own. The bond between the rider and the horse seems to increase attention span, memory concentration, and speech in impaired children. treatment is much more effective when you're having fun, especially for kids. Cohen Foundation is working with a total of 81 patients. The Hippotherapy project has had a very profound impact in the area because of its positive results. It was great to spend some time with these little angels.
Cohen Foundation seeks to eliminate poverty in Nicaragua, investing our efforts in culture, education, health, community work, and in the environment. Our historical conservation project, for example, is dedicated to the restoration of monuments. An important part of this work is the creation of the Sacred Route, which consists of the restoration of several churches in Chinandega.
The creation of the Sacred Route and the restoration of Chinandega's colonial churches is a huge contribution to the development of tourism and the preservation of history and culture in Chinandega. The Church of Santa Ana, dating from the time of the Spanish conquest, has a beautiful gold-colored altar with 16 seraphims carved in wood. The Cohen Foundation contracted an Italian restorer to work on this beautiful altar and other very important pieces of art, which had been damaged by a fire in the 1800s. Other churches restored by the foundation are the neoclassical El Calvario, which had been damaged by the rain and the sun, and the Santa Maria de Guadalupe Church, with its beautiful blue exterior.
So now we're gonna go on some trails. Here you can see the mares and the newborn horses and the artificial lake. We're gonna fly! Oh no! So that was a little bit of fun. We might see some deer. There's a whole bunch of deer here. Oh look! So here's the picadero. Why don't we go in? Here we train people of limited means and offer them a one-year scholarship in horsemanship training.
Cortijo El Rosario es una empresa ganadera dedicada a la crianza de caballos españoles y lusitanos. Paralelo a ello tenemos una escuela de equitación. También otorgamos becas para jóvenes de escasos recursos con afición ecuestre. De alguna manera esto ha redundado en beneficio de toda la ganadería nacional y principalmente de los alumnos asistentes, porque ha mejorado su nivel de vida.
The highlight of our visit to the Cohen Foundation and a wonderful finish to our tour was a short but thrilling helicopter ride from where we were able to see all of Western Nicaragua's natural attractions, beautiful beaches, and spectacular scenery.
We want to thank Piero Cristiano and the Cohen Foundation for their hospitality. It has been an unforgettable experience here at Cortijo El Rosario. Bye!
Welcome to Marina Puesta del Sol, a truly unique resort experience nestled in an amazing blue lagoon on the beautiful North Pacific coast of Nicaragua.
In 1999, Mr. Roberto Membreño, a Nicaraguan living in California, decided to take some time off his engineering company and went sailing. While looking for a place to berth his boat and enjoy sailing in Central America in his spare time, he discovered no marinas existed in the country. The seed was planted, and after a comprehensive search of the Pacific Nicaraguan coastline, he finally found his little piece of paradise.
My name is Robert Membreño, and I was born in Nicaragua. I'm now retired. I used to be involved in an engineering construction firm and came out to this place, and I loved it. And so we decided to support the development of a marina and a resort hotel complex type in here. We now have approximately some 100 hectares dedicated to the development of the hotel, the marina, and a golf course. We have sufficient beachfront property to make it really interesting for the hotel complexes that could be facing this side of the peninsula, which is this lagoon, this beautiful lagoon. And on the other side, we'll have the ocean views. This channel that we're traveling on right now is very, it's deep enough to permit the entrance of yachts, luxury yachts, with a draft of 10 to 12 feet. On high tide, we can get even more or bigger boats in here. Both the depth and the freedom from strong winds and heavy seas make this an ideal marina.
We're gonna have lunch at this palapa, a Hawaiian-style hut. This is my favorite place in the marina. You can enjoy the cool breeze and the great view, especially the food. Yummy! Are you ready to go fishing? The marina's fully outfitted boats are ready to take you to the ocean or the lagoon to have your own try at wahoo, sail fishing, or dorado. They recently hosted an international fishing tournament that was a great success, although I'm sure that we could have won.
The water outside is about 20 feet deep, and it's a long shelf. When you go out to the end of the 2 miles, then you drop into the deep water, which is ideal for marlin fishing. So, from a very short distance to the fishing grounds, you don't have to go too far.
Ya me voy a pescar. Free Willy.
Andrew, where did you bring us? We haven't caught anything, not even a cold.
Maybe the fish all packed up and moved away. This isn't anything like Bass Hunter Pro 4.
Yes, it's true. We did not catch anything, but the guys in the boat got 3 beautiful mackerels for dinner. I guess it was beginner's luck.
The Hacienda Cosiguina is located on an area measuring 3,740 acres, dedicated to farming, conservation of its forests, and maintaining the ecological balance of its wetland. The hotel offers a pleasant stay and several tours where you can explore this corner of Nicaragua.
Today we will go on a tour up to the crater of Cosiguina.
This is awesome. Today, I almost died.
Like with the other volcanoes, you cannot drive all the way up, but you have to walk almost 1 kilometer to reach the top. most violent volcanic eruption in the history of Nicaragua happened here in 1835. Cocihuina volcano blew its top off and with its pieces formed little islands in the Gulf of Fonseca. It blew a cloud of dust so big that it covered everything from Mexico to Colombia.
The now sleeping Cocihuina volcano is about 859 meters tall. It is covered in trees and has this beautiful green lagoon inside the crater.
When the Cocihuina erupted, 1/3 of its crater was blown away. The large crater then filled with rainwater and this spectacular crater lake was formed. On clear days, the Cocihuina offers stunning views as far as Honduras and El Salvador. Other attractions near the volcano that we were able to enjoy during our helicopter trip include the rocky islands that were formed during the eruption of the volcano, the amazing high cliffs at Mechapa Beach, and wetlands that provide shelter to thousands of birds and other animals. Our day ended with a nice horse ride through the swamps and wetlands of Cocihuina.
Welcome to Norome, a beautiful resort on the peaceful shores of the Apoyo Lagoon. Located near the town of Masaya, Norome has activities and services to fit everyone's needs.
From the balcony of each of the nature-friendly villas, the guests can enjoy an awesome view of the majestic crater lake of Apoyo.
A Nicaraguan natural reserve and proposed World Heritage Site, the Apoyo Lagoon was created more than 21,000 years ago by a massive volcanic eruption. At more than 200 meters deep, the lake's bottom is the deepest point in Central America.
The Apoyo Lagoon formed over what is called the Apoyo Cauldron, a circular-shaped volcanic structure with a diameter of approximately 6 kilometers and a maximum edge height of 623 meters above sea level, and a water temperature of approximately 28 degrees.
The resort blends this natural beauty with high-class accommodations and fun activities.
If you're looking for an adventure or just a place to relax, Norome is the place to go. Norome is a natural-style resort with over 100 rooms and 58 spacious villas. They have everything from sailing and kayaking to hiking trails and night entertainment.
The hotel has 2 large pools with panoramic views, as well as a children's pool. A private nature reserve of more than 60 acres of forest, a wide variety of activities for the whole family, such as hiking the nature trails, kayaking, sailing, and deserted beaches, where one can enjoy the sun and the warm waters of the lagoon.
You can fill your days at Norome with a lot of fun activities, or you can choose to make it a relaxing and restful experience. After dancing and swimming, nothing better than a good book surrounded by the sounds of nature.
Local handicrafts and decoration elements have been used in the villas in trying to offer an exotic yet modern environment, making Norome a world-class destination. Norome Resort and Villas offers varied meeting spaces for seminars and conferences. The lakefront restaurant, located right at the lagoon's edge, has a varied menu, with international favorites with Norome's special touch.
The Norome Private Reserve is a tropical dry forest, one of a few in Central America. It is inhabited by hundreds of animal species. some of which are not found anywhere else in the world.
Oh look, it's a howler monkey! The fauna at Apoyo's Lagoon is varied. You can find several species of monkeys, including howlers and white-faced capuchins, aardvarks, green iguanas, and some snakes. There are also several species of birds and butterflies.
Well, I guess we have to move along. There's a lot to do and a lot to see in this beautiful country. I hope we come to Norome again soon. Hey, maybe next time you can join us. See you around.
After our time in the Norome Resort, we were wondering where our friend Andrew had gone. Guess what? He was looking down at us from the sky. I knew those weren't birds.
Dude, that was awesome.
Ready?
Awesome. It was awesome.
Advice? Fly. Paragliding is a recreational and competitive flying sport. A paraglider is a free-flying aircraft where the pilot sits in a harness suspended below a fabric wing.
In Nicaragua, paragliding is practiced by very few people. Our friend Robert from the Nicaragua Free Flying Association, Anivuelo, tells us that the best time to paraglide in Nicaragua is after the rainy season, but before the winds pick up in December. You take off from Diriomito on the rim of the crater of Apoyo. Flying tandem with Robert teaching us was an amazing experience.
Being in the air over the blue water of the lagoon and with the amazing view of the Mombacho volcano is an experience which is very difficult to forget. But how do you fly and land in the same spot?
According to the internet, when the sun warms the ground, it will warm some features more than others, such as rock faces or large buildings, and these set off thermals which rise through the air. Once a pilot finds a thermal, he begins to fly in a circle, trying to center the circle on the core of the thermal, where the air is rising the fastest.
Good thermal flying is a skill which takes time to learn, but a good pilot can often core a thermal all the way to the cloud base.
It was so much fun flying out there.
Did it look difficult?
At first it looked scary, but once we were on there, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. What makes this place unique for paragliding?
This is a very special place because for paragliding either you need wind or the sun that heats the ground and keeps you up. So the wind is hitting the hill and the wind has to go up, and that's where we fly, we go up also. But there are days that there's no wind, there's only sun, and we have that also, so we have a combination of the two. And sometimes you get up very high, you go a kilometer over where we take off, you go a kilometer higher. And it's amazing what we just saw. We saw the two lakes of Nicaragua, you see all the volcanoes over there. And here in front of us is the Mombacho. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's never boring. And if you fly low, especially in summer when there are not many leaves on the trees, you see all kinds of birds sitting in the trees, monkeys. So it's nature, it's really a beautiful place.
That apparently peaceful hill over there is the Masaya volcano, only 20 kilometers from Managua. Back in the 1500s, the Spanish didn't realize it was a volcano and thought that its fiery pit was the entrance to hell itself. Other more greedy Spaniards thought that the lava was molten gold and went down to the crater on a trip of no return. Let's go on our own trip of exploration up to the live crater of the mysterious Masaya volcano.
The Masaya volcanic cauldron consists of 2 volcanoes, 5 craters, and an underground tunnel that was formed by hot lava. The Masaya crater is the only active one with lava and large emissions of sulfur dioxide gas. It is one of only 2 active volcanoes in the world that have a paved road leading all the way to the top. As you drive up, you can see large fields of black lava rock formations on both sides of the 7-kilometer road. Once you reach the top and look over the ledge, you look directly into the depths of the crater.
The last burp of the Santiago crater was in 2001, when a large group of tourists had the scare of their lives as the volcano started spewing out a great quantity of rocks onto their parked cars. The tourist pamphlet now says that in case of an explosion, you should seek shelter under your parked car. Thankfully, the parking lot is right here next to the crater, in case you need to make a speedy escape. This should be interesting.
Hey Andrew, did you know that the volcano is haunted? When the Spanish came to Masaya, legend has it that a witch used to hang around in the lava corridors. She used to reveal secrets and tell the future. The price was paid by throwing young girls and children into the crater to satisfy the witch's desire.
I wonder if we could be tempting the witch's appetite right now. See, Tammy's not here. I wonder if Rodrigo would do it.
This is Echo Balcony. I guess the name says it all. Right, Andrew? Right, Andrew? Right, Andrew? Hello? Hello? So the Spanish friars built this cross to keep the devil from venturing out of the depths of hell. Right, Doctor?
Ciertamente, los frailes españoles de la época de la conquista, hace 500 años, creyeron que este volcán era la boca del infierno. E incluso mandaron a plantar una cruz, que es la que vemos allá atrás, para ahuyentar al diablo. Pero otro fraile decidió o creyó que la lava que estaba en el fondo era oro derretido y organizó una expedición con canastos y mecates y baldes para recoger el oro. ¿Y cuál sería su sorpresa cuando llegó al fondo? Que lo que recogió no fue lava ni oro puro, sino una vulgar roca volcánica sin ningún valor comercial.
Like this one?
Exactamente como esta, una escoria volcánica que sale de la lava una vez que esta se enfría.
The Santiago has a nasty smoking habit. The crater emits large amounts of toxic sulfur dioxide gas. We had to wear gas masks to get to the southern side of the crater, from which you can see the lava flow.
Estamos en frente de esta grieta, túnel o caverna que realmente es una formación de lava, un río de lava que cuando se formó el cráter Santiago lo emitió y se distribuyó por toda la ladera. La lava en su curso formó esta costra que son sus paredes y luego se escurrió, dejando esta formación, ¿verdad?, que es una de las características de este volcán. Y tendremos la oportunidad de ir ahora a ver un túnel de lava de mayores dimensiones para ver la fuerza de la naturaleza en la emisión de estos fenómenos volcánicos.
We went to visit the lava corridors with Dr. Inser. Our guide gave each of us a hard hat and flashlight and guided us into a 1/4-mile long cave full of live bats.
To the Bat Cave, Andrew.
Not that kind of bat cave. Oh. It's a cave the locals call Sinancan Ostok. Sinancan, which means bat, and Ostok means cave. So it literally means cave of the bats. The cave was actually made in an eruption a long, long time ago.
Si ustedes ven, el techo de este túnel está todo borroñoso, formado por especies de espinas totalmente sólidas, que no eran sino las gotas de lava y que al caer iban formando y se iban inmediatamente solidificando y endureciéndose. Por eso es que todo este techo está cubierto de estas gotas solidificadas o sólidas de las antiguas lavas.
There's a lot of bats here. I see some behind us, in front of us, everywhere.
Sí, en esta cueva anidan por lo menos 2 o 3 diferentes especies de murciélagos, porque esta es casualmente las condiciones de oscuridad donde ellos viven. Ellos cuelgan boca abajo desde el techo. Realmente en Nicaragua hay como 90 especies de murciélagos, pero aquí hay 3 especies que son las que se han apoderado de esta cueva y han vivido acá a través de varias generaciones y continúan pues utilizando esta cueva como su hábitat.
So why don't the bats crash when they're flying around at high speeds in the dark?
Los murciélagos vuelan en la oscuridad porque emiten unos sonidos ultrasónicos que rebotan contra las paredes y los orientan a ellos para evitar obstáculos. Y eso es lo que se llama ecolocalización.
Has this cave ever been inhabited by people?
No, estas cuevas no prestan condiciones para alojar gente en forma permanente. Sin embargo, en épocas de los indígenas, ellos venían acá y entraban a esta cueva porque creían que aquí vivía la bruja del volcán y le dejaban en esas cornisas ollitas de barro con alimentos. Cuando nosotros descubrimos estas cuevas hace 30 y tantos años, encontramos esas vasijas ahí colocadas, ¿verdad? Muestra de que aquí era un lugar donde visitaban los indígenas para esas ceremonias especiales. Hemos llegado al final del túnel de lava y nos encontramos aquí en un amplio espacio con una bóveda que está a 5 metros arriba de nosotros y una anchura como de 8 metros. Detrás de nosotros hay el altar de la bruja, posiblemente utilizado para ceremonias conquistatorias en tiempos de los indígenas. Pero lo que es para nosotros simplemente es un derrumbe que es el que nos impide continuar adelante explorando esta maravillosa cueva.
This is the ferry that leaves the town of San Jorge for a peaceful trip to paradise. From San Jorge, it is a 1-hour ferry ride across the lake to Moyogalpa.
The ferry offers a cafeteria, air conditioning, TV screens, as well as an upper deck from which you can enjoy the view of Ometepe's 2 looming volcanoes, the Concepcion and the Maderas. Ometepe is the world's largest volcanic island on a lake, 276 kilometers square. It has the shape of a figure 8 formed by 2 volcanoes rising from Lake Nicaragua. Its name, from the Nahuatl language, means literally 2 mountains. Ometepe is an open history book. Legend has it that after the fall of Teotihuacan in Mexico, the displaced Aztecs traveled south through Central America, following a prophecy that they were to settle where they saw a lake with 2 volcanoes rising from the water. Ometepe promptly became a mixture of cultures and tribes, which is now evident by the presence of statues, ceramics, and petroglyphs all over the island.
The sleepy port town of Moyogalpa on the western side of the island is the arrival point of the ferry from San Jorge. Moyogalpa is the island's main commercial hub, and for many visitors the place to connect to transportation farther inland. As we got off our adventure mobile, we were welcomed to the island by our friends at Safari Ometepe. The friendly local tourist guides from the UGO, or Ometepe Tourist Guide Union, had a surprise welcome for us that included a cool coconut water drink, our own UGO straw hats, and a quick starter course on all things Ometepe.
Se van a conocer mucho de naturaleza, mucho de cultura, mucho de flora y de fauna. Entonces, una vez más bienvenidos y un aplauso de nosotros los guías.
This is the Ometepetl Hotel and Restaurant, where the Gomez family have prepared a very special welcome meal for the Adventures in Nicaragua crew. Bon appetit! The Ometepetl Restaurant and Hotel is located a mere 50 meters from the ferry dock, and it offers, apart from comfortable air-conditioned rooms, a pool and a tempting patio with hammocks and rocking chairs, which almost made us want to stay right there. However, we needed to go to the other side of the island. The adventure called.
Hotel Villa Paraíso, our headquarters in Ometepe, is located on Santo Domingo's beach, one of the most beautiful beaches on the island, on the narrow strip of land connecting the two volcanoes. The hotel has 13 private cabins, with balcony hammocks and lake views among the natural vegetation and surrounded with wildlife. The assorted menu of its international restaurant offers guests an opportunity to enjoy dishes ranging from delicious traditional Nicaraguan food to exquisite international cuisine in a beautiful and peaceful environment.
While you enjoy your meal, you might be interrupted by the loud calls and perhaps an unexpected tableside visit of the blue-tailed magpie, or urraca, which is considered by some islanders the official bird of Ometepe.
Todo lo que ofrecemos el Hotel Villa Paraíso va de acuerdo con el medio ambiente, es un turismo de aventura bien limpio, como por ejemplo la pesca artesanal, el canopy, caballos, bicicleta, excursión por sendero, escalamiento de volcanes y un tour cultural para ver nuestra arqueología, un tour biológico para ver nuestra flora y fauna. Entonces todo eso hace de la isla de Ometepe y del Hotel Villa Paraíso un lugar muy atractivo para estar.
On the second day of our visit, we were picked up very early by our friends Horacio Galán and Eduardo Cuadra from Safari Ometepe for a quick and fun visit to the local communities. It would be a great opportunity to catch a glimpse of how the locals live.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do. In Ometepe, you have to ride oxen.
The people of Ometepe live off farming, fishing, and tourism. They are very friendly and helpful. After a quick, fast, and fun ride along the coast of Playa Santo Domingo, we headed to the village of Mérida on the slope of the Maderas volcano for a wonderful kayak trip to the Istiang River. Istiang bisects the island between the two volcanoes. The river area is home to a great diversity of birds and other animals. We were able to enjoy breathtaking views of the two majestic volcanoes during a 1-hour kayak adventure. It was unforgettable. The Maderas volcano area is full of small agricultural little towns with large haciendas and farms that produce their own coffee. Often, the visitors can participate in their agricultural activities. Very close to these farms, you can find pre-Columbian petroglyphs, huge rocks with Indian carvings of animals, people, and religious symbols.
The Maderas is a sleeping volcano and has an altitude of 1,394 meters. It is covered by a cloud forest where you can easily spot monkeys and other animals. Its lush vegetation includes a rich variety of orchids and other flowers and plants. The crater of the volcano is now a green-colored lagoon within the forest. The serenity and peacefulness, the green, cloudy forest, and the gentle jungle sounds give this place a magical and almost mythical setting. According to the islanders, the area is inhabited by fairies and other supernatural spirits. That afternoon, we had to prepare for what was to come the next day, the climb of the Concepcion volcano. So we went to relax at a magical place, El Ojo de Agua, the Eye of the Water.
El Ojo de Agua, a natural volcanic water spring. In the middle of the jungle, it's awesome.
El Ojo de Agua is a tourist complex located 5 minutes down the road from Villa Paraíso, consisting of 3 swimming pools fed by a natural water spring. The water is completely transparent, blue, and with the perfect temperature. The cement and stone paths around the pool are surrounded by forest. All of this is dominated by a huge tree over the water. It was a perfect way to end the day. The next day, we were up bright and early to trek up the highest of the volcanoes on the island, the Concepcion. Concepcion is an active stratovolcano that forms the northwest part of the island. Since 1883, Concepcion has erupted at least 25 times. Its last eruption was in 2007. Our guides, Luis Carlos, Joel, and Horacio, met us with horses at the bottom of the mountain.
Estamos en el volcán Concepción, segundo volcán más grande de Nicaragua después del San Cristóbal. Tiene 1.610 metros de altura. Y esta mañana, Rodrigo, Tamara y unos turistas y nuestro guía de la Hugo estamos dispuestos para subir el volcán a caballo, donde vamos a observar una gran variedad de lo que es flora, fauna y la vista impresionante de Ometepe y del lago de Nicaragua.
Because of the sulfur gases at the top of Concepcion and the duration of the hike in over 30-degree heat, we plan to climb halfway up, just above the jungle line, which would let us enjoy amazing views of the top and across Lake Nicaragua.
Bueno chicos, estamos llegando a lo que es el mirador conocido como el Floral. Hasta aquí vamos a llegar en caballo, el resto lo vamos a hacer caminando. Por esta parte de aquí podemos observar lo que es Punta Jesús María. Esta isla que se mira acá se llama la Isla Zapatera y por acá al otro lado tenemos lo que es la ciudad de Granada, un poco más arriba y podemos observar lo que es la ciudad de Granada y parte de la ciudad de San Carlos.
On our fourth and final day at Ometepe, we traveled to the village of San Ramon, located near Mérida and facing Lake Nicaragua. Here we would take a spectacular hike to the impressive 56-meter San Ramon waterfall. The waterfalls are located about 4 kilometers from the village and can only be accessed on an all-terrain vehicle for the first 2 kilometers and then by foot. It is a beautiful but treacherous 2 to 4 hour hike with virgin forest and great views along the road. The last part is done by foot and uphill along the path of rivers, which 2 years ago was partly covered by a landslide with rocks and fallen trees. However, this trip is completely worth it when you get to the Cascades and let the cool, misty water wash away your stress. It was unbelievable. During our last day in Ometepe, we went to Altagracia, the second most important town in Ometepe, where life is completely laid back and relaxed. One of the most attractive aspects of the city is the Pre-Columbian Museum, where various examples of pre-Columbian ceramics, statues, and petroglyphs are displayed, all found at the island. Here, we found out about the ghost of Chico Largo.
The natural reserve of Charco Verde is the official domain of Chico Largo.
Francisco Rodríguez era su nombre verdadero, vivía en San José del Sur y es uno de los primeros propietarios de ese territorio. Todo eso era un bosque espeso. Chico Largo vivía solo allí en ese paraje tan precioso. El bosque le ayudaba también a hacer el nacimiento de la leyenda, porque al ser tan espeso, las personas que visitaban allí perdían el camino. Y como se decía que Chico Largo era el hombre que con sus conocimientos de brujería y su aspecto, su soledad, su rancho, su manera de vivir, todo eso lo hacía misterioso ante la gente. Cuando alguien tocaba alguna fruta allí en el bosque de Chico Largo, en el jardín de Charco Verde, entonces perdía el camino. Y cuentan algunas viejitas que daban vuelta, vuelta y vuelta y no encontraban el camino hasta que ponían las frutas, entonces podían salir. Cuando él muere, queda todo eso en misterio. Todavía hay viejitas vivas que dicen que iban al encanto, decían algunas oraciones y se perdían. Entonces iban a dar a una ciudad debajo del charco, donde todas las personas que habían hecho mal, Chico Largo los había convertido en reses, en cerdos y en otros animales que existen allí en el Charco Verde. Las personas que tienen dinero aquí en Altagracia, en la isla, pues, hay gente que dice que están vendidos allí en el Charco Verde y que están en la ciudad.
The reserve houses a small hill, a lagoon separated from the lake by only a narrow strip of land, spectacular flora and fauna, consisting of howler monkeys, a whole bunch of birds, and other exotic animals.
All about the lagoon and its forests contribute to giving the reserve a mystical atmosphere, from the partly submerged tree trunks and their giant shadows to the eerie sound of the howlers, the lapping water, and the wind between the trees. Our last stop in Ometepe was the Punta Jesús María, also known as La Punta de la Paloma, a narrow tip located at the most western point of the island, about 5 kilometers from the port of Moyogalpa. About 20 meters wide and 200 meters long, it ends on a sandbar that goes into the lake for more than 1 kilometer during the dry season. It is a great place for a picnic or for a visit, with a great view of the lake and great sunsets. It will make you feel as you were walking on water.
Ometepe was a real treat. We were treated like royalty. This island of tradition and mystery was really one of the highlights of our adventures in Nicaragua.
Exploring the beaches of the deep blue Pacific coastline of Nicaragua has become the preferred activity of most visitors to this beautiful land. They offer safe swimming, awesome surfing, fishing, sailing, and scuba, and have incredible little bays, rock formations, unspoiled beaches, and lots to do.
The half-moon bay of San Juan del Sur is the logical starting point for any adventurer. This incredibly stunning beach reminds the visitors of the European Riviera and offers many activities to keep you busy.
Once again, we visit the beautiful port town of San Juan del Sur with more exciting adventures. This time, we will actually be flying through the town on the longest zip-line canopy tour in Nicaragua.
The Flying Frog offers an exciting 45-minute zip-line tour that is 2.5 kilometers long with awesome views of the Bay of San Juan del Sur with speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour. The longest canopy tour in Nicaragua, the Flying Frog, is 5 minutes from the town of San Juan del Sur. What sets this canopy apart from the others in Nicaragua is the unique views of the Bay of San Juan and being in full contact with nature. The Flying Frog is located within a cattle farm on a hill overlooking the ocean. This is Eddie, the head honcho here at the Flying Frog. Can you tell us what makes this zipline canopy tour so special?
Estamos iniciando a una altura de aproximadamente 200 metros sobre el nivel del mar. Los primeros cables, que los primeros 5, son para práctica para que los turistas se vayan acostumbrando a la manera de frenar, a la posición, de manera que no les guste en la número 2, pueden bajar o pueden bajar en la número 5.
¿De qué está hecho los cables?
De puro acero. Está capacitado para 6 toneladas de peso para 6 años de trabajo. El más largo que tenemos es el cable que está de penúltimo, que está casi viniendo a la oficina, de 400 metros de largo.
Ok, vámonos.
The adventure lasts about 45 minutes, and during the ride through the zip lines, one can encounter howler monkeys, raccoons, and many other species of animals. The combination of the blue ocean, the lush green in nature, and the sounds of the wild make the experience thrilling and unforgettable.
That was awesome! I want to do that again! Only 18 kilometers south of San Juan del Sur is El Coco Ocean Park. Today we will be staying at El Coco Ocean Park, an exclusive resort just 18 kilometers from San Juan del Sur. The park is located in the boundaries of La Flor Wildlife Refuge, where thousands of turtles come to lay their eggs.
We're crashing at a luxurious house just 20 meters from the beach. El Coco is a stunning, secluded beach, great for relaxing, swimming, and beach activities.
The park offers beachfront houses, bungalows, and apartments for rent. It is the ideal place to visit with the whole family because the beach is large and safe, with beautiful white sand and shallow water.
Parque Marítimo El Coco es un centro turístico exclusivo, ideal para familias con niños y también para parejas. Dentro de las posibilidades de hospedaje que ustedes encuentran aquí encontrarán casas para familias grandes de hasta 10 o quizás más personas y también casas de hasta 2 personas para parejas. Estamos estratégicamente localizados a 2 kilómetros de Playa La Flor, donde es un lugar en Nicaragua para arribadas masivas de tortugas paslamas y ese es uno de nuestros principales atractivos. Ofrecemos un tour a Finca La Esperanza, que se hace a caballo, donde se puede recolectar frutas en épocas de cosechas. Y tenemos otras actividades de playa como voleibol y fútbol de playa.
Rodrigo, wake up, man, we gotta go.
I don't wanna go.
Come on, we gotta go, let's go.
I want to go to school.
But it's 5 in the morning, we gotta go see the turtles. Come on, get out of bed. Let's go. It's very early in the morning, and we have arrived at La Flor,
a beautiful beach only 2 kilometers from Playa del Coco, where an amazing phenomenon seen in very few places worldwide is about to unfold.
Among the 5 turtle species present in the waters of Central America, the olive ridley or paslama turtle is mainly found on the Pacific coast of Nicaragua and is most famous for its massive arrivals. Each year between July and December, hundreds of thousands of sea turtles lay millions of eggs along Nicaragua's coasts. Nicaragua has the privilege of being one of the only countries in the world to experience turtle hatchings of such large proportions. The 200-pound female struggles slowly up the beach, stopping often to catch its breath, slowly making their way to the perfect spot for digging a nest for her eggs. She then digs a hole in the sand beneath her belly using her flippers. Then she lays up to 100 eggs into this hole. The eggs have the shape, size, and color of ping pong balls. She then covers the nest with sand to hide the eggs. The entire nesting process takes about an hour, after which the female turtle returns to the sea. Remarkably, the turtles return to the exact same beach on which they were born, a phenomenon yet to be understood by scientists.
This turtle has just finished laying her eggs here on the beach, and she's now going back into the ocean.
Pretty close to the beach now.
She's almost there. The journey back from the nest is definitely the most dangerous part of the little turtle's lives, a journey that could prove to be deadly.
When the eggs are laid in the sand, they are at the mercy of predators. Among them, a great quantity of buzzards and other birds of prey, who wait for the eggs to hatch and eat the little turtles on the way back to the sea. The incubation process takes up to 52 days, and on one wonderful day, after sundown, thousands of tiny baby turtles claw their way out of the shell and start their journey down to the water. For people who have not seen this with their own eyes, a couple of thousand turtles coming from the ocean or back to the ocean invade the beach. This is an awesome and unforgettable sight. This is called an arribada, or an arrival. It has been going on for ages at the beautiful beach sanctuary of La Flor. Both of Nicaragua's coasts are popular sites for nesting of diverse species of sea turtles. In the country's less developed Caribbean coast, however, the turtles are hunted at sea by fishermen for their meat or even for their shells, in the case of carey turtles, which are used to make jewelry. On the Pacific side, it is a turtle's eggs which are grabbed by poachers to sell in the local market. A small portion of the eggs are eaten by the gatherers, a valuable source of protein in an otherwise poor diet. The rest is sold to local restaurants.
The sea turtle is one of Nicaragua's most famous species, and many people are trying hard to preserve it. Thanks to these preservation efforts, we can still find as many as 8 species of sea turtle around the world.
Located in the northern mountains of Matagalpa and more than 3,000 meters above sea level, the German-style resort of Selva Negra is so unique that when you first arrive, you wonder if you're still in Nicaragua.
Right now we are 4,300 feet elevation here. That's the reason it's very cold, very nice.
The temperature may be right now 70 degrees, which is ideal.
The Selva Negra Resort has many different lodging options, from bungalows, American-style hotel rooms, and German chalets that hold 10 to 12 people.
The hotel, located on the grounds of a prosperous coffee plantation, is owned by Eddie and Mausi Kiel, the fourth-generation descendants of the original German settlers who established the coffee industry in the country.
The first people who came here, my grandfather, my wife's great-grandfather, came looking for gold, and they stay here and eventually start growing coffee. We're here thanks to a woman like you who came here, a German woman who happened to plant the first coffee beans in 1852. And coffee became so nice quality that when they exported this coffee, people in Germany requested more and more and more. So many other German kids came here and founded the first coffee plantations in the mountains. Since then, we have been doing coffee. This is one of the highest peaks of the province of Matagalpa. What you see here is the coffee processing facilities, the workers' quarters, our house, and we have made a mountain resort in order to diversify the production of coffee.
The cool thing about this farm is that even though it's grown into a very successful coffee industry, its owners still do everything they can to protect its natural surroundings and provide what they can for its family, hotel guests, and more than 500 people who live and work here at the hotel.
What we have is here is ecotouristic activities. It means walking in the mountain, horseback riding, bird watching, orchids watching, and taking the tour of the farm.
From the food on the table of the restaurant to electricity in the rustic cabins, everything needed to run this resort is produced here at Selva Negra.
You cannot miss Eddie or Mausi's tour of the coffee plantation. You get to see the coffee growing process, the flowers at the greenhouse, or even the worms that grow in the compost to create fertilizer. Want some?
They produce their own food here, like milk, cheese, butter, and meat from the animals here at the farm. They can even cook with the methane gas from the wastes. They grow their own vegetables, and they fish in their lakes.
Selva Negra is the perfect destination for families seeking to spend some quality time together. There are lots of things to do: horseback riding, hiking trails, bird watching, or simply watching the lake with a fresh cup of coffee.
Selva Negra offers restaurant service at the lodge, located at one of the resort's small lakes. You can enjoy authentic German and Nicaraguan cuisine while sitting on the large deck with the awesome view of the mountain and the lake.
Open any gate, take any picture, talk to anyone. That's what we call it ecotourism and agritourism. You can see the working activities, maybe the coffee processing facilities, the milking a cow, making cheese, making sausages, all those countryside activities you can see here in the center of the country, Nicaragua.
The beautiful and romantic Selva Negra is perfect for something else: getting married. They have a charming little chapel on a hill in the rainforest, which provides the perfect setting for a wedding.
Thank you for coming, kids, and you'll find me walking the mountain, the old coffee man of the mountain, they call me. So welcome to all the tourists in Nicaragua and international tourists. We welcome you here in the mountains in Nicaragua. Thank you.
Thank you.
chido.
Super duper.
It's always sad to say goodbye after having such a fun time together, but our adventures in Nicaragua will not be soon forgotten.
This land, unrivaled by any other in Central America, stays in the heart of its visitors, long after they have returned home.
Nicaragua keeps calling you back to its lakes and volcanoes, to a place of lasting friendships and never-ending adventures. Bye!
Right, so
Yeah.
like totally bodacious buddies. Here's the very
Tubular
end
bros.
to this.
Okay,
gnarly-
check it. It's over. There's no more. This is like the end.
Zilch.
The end.
Zilch. No
Zero.
nothing.
We've had like a gnarly adventure. It's been wicked.
That's it.
Totally
So,
wizard.
My
We've had an
bodacious
awesome
friends,
time.
My bodacious friends.
Seriously, if
I
you
bid
come
you
down, you're gonna be
farewell.
like, check it out. You're gonna be like, whoa, it's Nicaragua. We're gonna be like, yeah, man, it's awesome. Totally.
Check it out.
Seriously.
Yo, so this is going down, bros.
It's how we roll.
I'm gonna miss y'all.
Seriously, we love you guys. You're the reason it's out there. The fans. It's you guys.
Right.
Seriously.
Goodbye.
Come down to Nicaragua. If we don't see you, we're gonna be bummed out to the max.
It's been wizard.
Each one of you.
It's been wizard.
It has been totally awesome. Thank you. We love you people. Bye. See ya. Hey.